Jurisdictions following the equitable division of property model divide marital property equitably between divorcing spouses. But many of these states still preserve a distinction between marital and non-marital or separate property. If the value of one spouse's separate property increases during the marriage, how should that appreciation be characterized? That's the question in Nardini versus Nardini. In 1949, Ralph Nardini bought a 50% interest in a small business for $2,500. In 1953, Ralph and Marguerite Nardini were married. 3 years later, they purchased the remaining half of the business for $12,500 and incorporated it as Nardini Fire Equipment Company of Minnesota. Ralph and Marguerite were the only shareholders. Nardini Fire grew substantially over the years. Ralph managed the business and called on customers. Marguerite occasionally did bookkeeping. Marguerite kept the Nardini home, raised their 2 children, and volunteered extensively in the community. Ralph and Marguerite divorced in 1985. The parties disputed the division of Nardini Fire. At the time of the divorce, the company's stock was worth more than $550,000. Ralph claimed half the company's value as his separate property because he'd purchased half of it before the marriage. The trial court found that half of the present value of Nardini Fire belonged to Ralph as non-marital property, and that the other half was marital property. The Minnesota Court of Appeals affirmed. Marguerite appealed to the Minnesota Supreme Court.